Respected colleagues, we have in the gallery Joel Model School. Can we, Abuja, rise up for recognition? In our normal, can we clap for them? Appreciate their coming. Thank you. Also in the gallery, deputy leader and leader of Ereko local government area, Ogun State. And then we have the deputy leader and leader again of Ifo local government area of Ogun State. I think this is an appreciation of the good work of one of our colleagues who brought them to appreciate and learn more. It's about mentorship. Honorable Luciaka, the first area Alessio of Igbalan and Baba Adini. They are welcome. You may please take a seat. On a sad bravery, this is to formally announce the passing away of my mother, Chief Mrs. Alice Titi, at the ripe age of 104 on the 5th of December 2021. Initial burial rites as per her instructions have since been performed. The social celebration of her life will be in early 2022. The house will be adequately invited when the farm date is set. Most sincerely, Professor Julius. Any member who has a petition to present to the House may please rise to do so. Honorable Sada.
Good afternoon. Mr. Speaker, my highly esteemed colleagues, I'm Sejus Ose Ogun. I represent Eastern Northeast, Eastern Southeast. And I have two petitions this morning from my constituency. The first is from Mr. John Igodalo concerning the non-payment of his full salaries, pension benefits, and gratuity upon restatement by the Nigerian Police Force by the Police Service Commission. And the second is from Comrade Kenneth Ire concerning the unprofessional conduct of the zonal office of EFCC Benin Zone. Mr. Speaker, I crave the indulgence of Mr. Speaker, the House to lay this petition this morning.
Go ahead and lay a petition. Honorable, my brother from Akwa Ibom.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues. My name is Idem Unyime, member representing Okanafun, Orogonam Federal Constituency of Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I have two petitions here from two of my constituents. The first is from Mr. Ndwe wrongful dismissal. The second one is from Mr. Sunday Dick, complaining about stoppage of his salary since 2014. They are pleading with the House to wade into this matter and prefer a solution. Mr. Speaker, may I
Any member who has a matter of urgent public importance to present to the House may please rise to do so.
Mr. Ahmed Badao, member representing Shannon Ogai Federal Constituency. I am from Kano State. Pending order of the House of Representatives, I hereby present for your kind approval on the aid of the people of Ogai and Badao of Shannon Federal Constituency of Kano State over the unfortunate vote mischief that claimed 42 lives brought pursuant to Order 8 to Rule 4 of the Standing Order of the House of Representatives. Accept my assurance and warm regards. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Before your motion, first you are supposed to apply to the House, and it's for the House now to appreciate whether it is a matter of urgent public importance and for us to take now or not. So that should have been the first approach. And I want to direct the House, just as stipulated, that those in favor that the motion is urgent for us to take now. Can somebody second first? Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me opportunity to second the motion. Musa, Federal Constituency.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. There's it. I believe maybe because it didn't couch it out, aptly, it has to do with lives consistent.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Yusuf Ahmed. The House notes that the unfortunate boat accident that claims the 42 lives, boat passengers ferry across Otaridam in Ogoy local government area of Shanon Ogoy Federal Constituency of Kano State. Also note that
to take it to chairman rules and business for it to be listed in the order paper, and it has been done. Number 15. So please take your seat so that we'll just be a little bit patient for us to get to that point so that you can present your motion at that point. Thank you. Yes, leader.
And I represent on the operations of real estate developers in Nigeria. They have continuously taken Nigerians for granted, and they are also having the mind to do more harm to those who do not even have properties. And if this harm do not come to the aid of Nigerians, it may be difficult for even though low-income earners to own properties in Nigeria. Hence, the reason why I'm bringing it up for all to suspend our rules and take it now so that we can add it to an existing ad hoc committee to do more justice to this resolution if taken by the House.
Right, Honorable Speaker, you are sincerely and genuinely appreciated. Representative Taiwo Oluga is my name. I am from Osun State. I speak on behalf of all the people of Irewole, Ayedade, Ishoko Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion that we should take it as a public urgent and to step aside our rules to take it now. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's a leader. Go ahead and present your motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Ndudi Godwin Elmelu, and I represent the good people of Anyocho Oshimili Federal Constituency. I'm from Delta State. The House notes that Nigeria has maintained its position with the most real estate development on the African continent for more than 2 decades. Due to the growing population for about 200 million Nigerians and the influx of people from the rural areas to the urban areas, this sector is overstretched. The House is aware that the real estate development means further economic growth as evidenced by the growing number of real estate developers in Nigeria, causing ongoing rise in the price of homes and increasingly making housing unaffordable for most Nigerians, especially in cities like Kano, Rivers, Calabar, Lagos, Abuja, Plateau State, etc., all of which are commercial hubs. The House further aware that this sector is shrouded in secrecy, misrepresentation, quackery, bribery, incompetence, non-disclosure of information due to lack of regulation and monitoring. The House therefore observed that today, Nigeria is faced with a lot of monumental disasters as cases of collapsed building is on the rise. recent building collapse in Lagos State as a result of poor quality materials, lack of necessary educational credentials, professionalism, and non-adherence to ethical standards in this institution. Worried that despite the operations of current carbon, estate surveyors and valuers, quantity surveyors, Nigerian Institute of Architects, town planners, mechanical and structural engineers, etc., building collapse is on the increase. They have therefore resolved that the existing ad hoc committee on the investigation of the real estate developers should be given the additional mandate to further investigate the operations of real estate developers across Nigeria with regards to the astronomical cost of such development and concerns about the quality and conformity to initial land use, design and structural approvals and requirements in the light of the committee's mandate to liaise with all relevant agencies and stakeholders towards formulation of legislation to regulate the real estate sector. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, sir. I think the only authentic streamer is one.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Armen Lawan Shetima Ali, representing Bursari, Gaydam Unusari Federal Constituency and from Yobe State, sir. I rise to move, second the motion ably moved by the able leader. I saw second, sir. By the minority leader, sir.
Amendment. I hope you are not going to water down the motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Rep. Ibrahim Ayokole Siaka. I speak for and on behalf of the good people of Ifo, Iwekoro Federal Constituency. I'm from Ogun State, Mr. Speaker. Due to the recent and the past calamities that have befallen many families, the level of despondency, I want to amend, let's add another prayer, that the House, out of sympathetic nature, do observe just a minute silence for those who have lost their lives across the country due to collapsed building. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Seconder to the amendment. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Ujukinsley Chima, member representing Ajema Oguta Old West Federal Constituency of Imo State. As earlier amended by my colleague, Honorable Isaka, I second the amendment as moved by him. Thank you very much.
Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of the motion as amended say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it.
Honorable Luga, resume your seat.
Maybe we'll observe the 1 minute silence.
Honorable Maki and the leader, resume your seats.
Yes, sir. You have the next. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My respected honorable colleague, my name is Honorable Baragaja, member representing East Southern Federal Constituency. I'm from Sokoto State. Motion brought under the matters of urgent of public importance, pursuant to Order 4, Rule 8, House of Representatives Standing Order 2016. Urgent need to arrest incessant killing
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, my honorable colleague. Mohammed Umar Jega, representing Aliru Gondu Jega Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion, ably moved by my honorable colleague. I so second. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Go ahead and you may go ahead to present your motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Not with the greatest dismay, the burning of 23 people in motor vehicle along Isa and Southern Benin by the bandits, subject to the entire federal constituency on a just sorrow. What is that? Within the same period, after the first travel incident, while 22 motorcycles were being virtually seized on the innocent Nigeria in Southern Benin, Lajinge, Kuzari, Ungwarlele, Isa, and other villages. Disturbance humanities are on the increase in the whole federal constituency, virtually on daily basis in less than 1 week. Security, lack of public safety, difficulties, lifefall due to absence of basic necessities of life. Resolve. Urge the House to set up ad hoc committee to investigate vehicle within the federal constituency. Urge the House to direct the observance of a minute silence in honor of the deceased victims. Urge the House to appeal to the President and the Chief and the Commander-in-Chief of Army Force to deploy to direct the Ministry of Military Affairs and its agency to provide materials to affected victims. Thank you.
Gimbe Duku.
Member representing Dukuna for the Federal Constituency, by my colleague. I so second. Thank you.
I believe this is a very straightforward motion. So, with the amendment, okay.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable colleagues. I'm Mansur Manu Soro, Dar of the Ganjua Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Bauchi State. Mr. Speaker, my amendment is to the effect that the House do call on the governors of I so amend.
State approach government may be in terms of what is provided. Hello? You say? Visit. Thank you.
Yes, it is.
I'm from Sakuto Nation. Though, Mr. Speaker, it's an amendment I have that the measures that are to be taken should also include the contiguous local government of Surmi.
I have another amendment on another amendment until we dispose this particular matter.
Okay, okay.
Before we continue another
it's on an amendment that I had, sir.
Thank you.
No, okay.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's not a coincidence that Bauchi State, despite being located in the northeast, appears to be the most peaceful state. But if the amendment, if the proposal doesn't go down, well, with the leadership, I may wish to withdraw it. Thank you.
By the provisions of our constitutions, every of the governor in his own state have the right and sole right on the way and manner he should govern in accordance with the provision of government. That's why us here directing other governors to go there, I'm saying it's inconsistent with the provision of the constitution, and I do not think that is right. That is what I'm trying to guide the House from, and for us to appreciate. Yes, we appreciate there's very good and excellent peaceful coexistence, peace in Bauchi State, but it's not for us here in the House, within the context of what the law is, to say, go and study. They have their honesty. Motion. Thank you. Kakali, I think automatically it has failed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Honorable Barashu Kakale, member representing both Engadengashun government that with Sabon Birni and Isa. And to also include Kano State because of its commercial and other strategic status in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Seconded to the amendment. Akinjo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my very distinguished colleague. My name is Kolade Via Kinjo, speaking for Elijah to the Federal Constituency. I rise to second the amendment as ably moved by my colleague. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Those in favor of the motion as amended say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Respected colleagues, the first business of the day is, was it in the motion? Thank you. Colleagues, can we rise for 1 minute? May their soul rest in perfect peace. Respected colleagues, the first business of the day is presentation of 3 bills. I now invite the clerk to read their short titles.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, Abuja Environmental Protection Board Establishment Bill 2021, first reading. Nigerian Maritime Zones Bill 2021, first reading. Tertiary Hospitals Development Fund Bill 2021, first reading.
Respected colleagues, I want to beg us, Chief Whip, please bring order into the House, please.
Okay. Please, honorable members.
Honorable Blessing.
Honorable Koko, take your seat.
Tijani.
Tijani, take your seat.
Colleagues, the first order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Chartered Institute of Business Education of Nigeria and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Henry Achibong. Honorable members will call.
Ibiono Federal Constituency in Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to propose a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Chartered Institute of Business Educators of Nigeria.
Francis Charles New York, that the proposed bill HB 582 be read the second time. I so second.
Honorable Chibon, did the debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Once again, I'm Henry Achibong, representing the people of Itu, Ibiono Federal Constituency in Akwa Ibom State. Considering that in this era of paper qualifications, we have a lot of our youths that have been trained for business education coming out with just mere paper qualification without any skills to add to it. Mr. Speaker, we also know that there are other chartered institutes that make for the professionalism of their educational system. For example, ICANN. These bills, activities, and the practices of business, when established, it will lead to the improvement in business education. It will lead to the training of those involved who are offering business education of this bill, because it's just a straightforward bill. Honorable colleagues, I wish that I be supported and this bill go through second reading. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Worrisome, because I do know we have organizations approved by this National Assembly last period. apart from the event that is making me to ask the question. I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, this bill is not likely to members of the business.
Against any, that's have it. Clerks is invited to volunteer for the bill.
And for related matters, second reading.
Respected colleagues, the second business of the day is commencement debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to amend the Immigration Act 11 Laws of Federation of Nigeria 2004 to provide for the payment of monies received by the service into the Federation account in accordance with Section 162 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended to establish the Nigerian Immigration Patrol Border Agent as a specialized directorate in the Nigerian Immigration Service to patrol, maintain, surveillance, conduct borderline, watch and prevent persons from entering or through Nigerian porous blockade. All members will call the bill was. One bill of the bill stepped down by the leave of the House. The last bill on education is referred to Committee on Tertiary Education and Services. Respected colleagues, the third order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of bill for an act to provide for upgrade and conversion of iron and steel company clinic Ajakuta to Federal Teaching Hospital Ajakuta to provide facility matter standing in Honorable Lawal Muhammad to move that the bill be read second time.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Idrisu has approached me that he wants to step this bill down for further consultation. I therefore move that the second reading.
The third order of the day is commencement of the.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, my respected colleagues. I really appreciate the time you give me to make this point, please. I rise with due respect. Rampant cases of bills being taken for second reading, and eventually you have the member is not on the floor to take it up. I think it's of serious concern. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, like I said, I rise as the leader of this House to very respectably, urge my colleagues that you must always liaise with the House Committee Chairman on rules and businesses. And so also the Chairman House Committee on rules and businesses, while scheduling businesses of the day, must also get in touch with relevant members so that bills are not put on schedules only for us to now step them down because the member that is supposed to take them is not on the floor, especially a bill that is meant for second reading. The second reading of every bill is one very fundamental stage of that bill. It is at that point when a member is expected to come and debate the general principle of that bill. It is the key step as far as legislative process is concerned. So I rise with all sense of humility to urge on members to please take very seriously and be more dutiful when time comes for any bill to be taken on second reading. And the Chairman House Committee on Rules and Business too, please, when you are scheduling businesses of the day, you need to also discuss with relevant members so that we cannot continue to
indict our colleagues. I will still give, not to indict our colleagues. For the last bill that was stepped down, it is a result of the leadership meeting we had this morning before coming into chambers. And we saw that it is a bill within an institution that is likely to go into privatization. And you can't go now take a single out that particular structure and hand it over to federal government. Meanwhile, it is within a commercial access and it is a commercial setup as of today. And so we advise him to step down. This is part of the reason. But I concur with you in terms of how things are, how we schedule our businesses, and then only for members. So for those who are here to be denied the opportunity to present their own. And I believe there is a legislative plan for every week. And each member is supposed to be aware as he goes through the week plan, to know that his bill is going to be scheduled on a particular date and for him to be available to present to the House. And I want to urge and in line with what you have said to all our colleagues that we should please save our legislative businesses and time. It's important so that we'll be able to make progress. We have stepped down quite a number of bills and we'll always be handy so that we will be able to do justice and deliver what we are expected to do to Nigerians. Yes, sir.
Further information, sir. Further information.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, I remain Honorable Ndudi Godwin Elumelu, and I represent the good people of Anyocho Federal Constituency. I'm from Delta State. I align myself to the submission of the House Leader, but also the House Committee Chairman on Rules and Business of being selective in listing bills that are before him. And I think what he has tried to do is to ensure that everybody is given equal representation in terms of listing their bills. I'm adding to what he said. I think members to take it seriously, to always check their mails. Emails are sent before sitting. Most often, even Fridays and Monday, they are sent. But I think our members, some of our members, do not read or go through their mails. And it will be nice for our people, taking a clue from the House Leader, that they take it seriously to always check their mails, because the Committee on Rules and Business are trying to ensure that they don't fall within the trap of being accused.
The essence of the weekly notice paper is to enable members prepare. All bills listed and motions, notice is given in advance. And this notice is sent to the mails of all members to take on so date. In addition, members are called. We use the telephone numbers of it. We call this bill that we just stepped down. The member.
Advice from leadership.
The same thing with the item number 6 on the order paper. The member is this is our predicament.
Thank you, Leader. Thank you for the advice and counseling. The special colleague N82 Laws Operation of Nigeria 2004, and in the first time on Wednesday, 9 December 2020. I now invite Honorable Ashuru to move that the bill be read second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Why is Aminu Ashuru money?
From all indications, Honorable Mani is not on the floor.
You can see.
I move the
second reading of the bill stepped down by the leave of the House. Respected colleagues, the fifth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to amend the Nigerian labor laws in every public or private health educational institution or commercial etc. or workplace for employees who are breastfeeding and nursing mothers, and for this matter standing in the name of Honorable Sergeant Ogun on the
Mr. Speaker, my highly esteemed colleagues, I'm Sergius Ose Ogun. I represent Esan Northeast, Esan Southeast, and I'm from Edo State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that a bill for an act to amend the Labour Act Cap L1, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to make provision for establishment of creches in every public or private health, educational, industrial, or commercial. Second time, Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. I remain Honorable Dr. Haruna Michelia. I represent the people of Askra Overhaul Federal Constituency of Borno State. I stand, Mr. Speaker, to second the motion moved by my friend, Honorable Sergius. I so second. Thank you.
Sergius, lead the debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a very straightforward bill. The World Health Organization, the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, recently recommended early initiation of newborn babies into breastfeeding, at least within 1 year of birth, 1 hour of birth, exclusive breastfeeding for first 6 months of life, and an introduction of nutritional, together with continued breastfeeding for up to 2 years of age or beyond. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Speaker, Minister of Health, in his press statement during the 2021 Breastfeeding Week, noted that exclusive breastfeeding rate in Nigeria is as low as 29%, indicating that 71% of infants in Nigeria do not receive optimal feeding because only 9% of organizations in Nigeria have workplace breastfeeding policy. The bill therefore seeks to amend the Labour Act so as to make provision for the establishment of creches in public and private workplaces for employees who are breastfeeding/nursing mothers. For 4 months, maternity leave for nursing mothers may be insufficient for mothers to exclusively breastfeed their babies for up to 6 months or as recommended. Therefore, availability of creches in workplaces will allow nursing mothers to resume work and still be able to breastfeed their babies as recommended by World Health Organization and UNICEF. Mr. Speaker, the brief is basically here, and I don't want to overflog this, but the merit here is I can just walk over and breastfeed that child. That can help achieve the minimum 6 months breastfeeding, exclusive breastfeeding that everybody is pushing for right now. So I will urge my colleagues to support this bill to skate through second reading. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder. No, I think he was leaving the debate. Thank you. So the question now, the bill will be raised second time. Those in favor say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerks is invited to do the title of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to amend the Labour Act, Cap L1, Health, Educational, Industrial, or Commercial etc. workplace for employees who are breastfeeding through nursing mothers and for related matters. Second reading.
Mr. Speaker, sir, on a lighter mood, sir, you forgot to give up
healthy children for Nigeria because the natural breast milk cannot be substituted by any form.
I just cannot have that easy here.
Sergio, you better make amends. You should make amends. Thank you, and report progress to the leader. Bill referred to Committee on Labor, Employment and Productivity. Respected colleagues, the sixth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of Bill for an Act to amend the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission Act, Cap N117 Laws of Nigeria, and for related matters standing in the name of Honorable Dozie Ferdinand Nwanko. Honorable members will recall the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 2nd July 2020, and I invite Honorable Nwanko to move that the bill be read the second time.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Dozie Nwanko approached me a few minutes ago and requested that he's not ready to take the bill today, and asked me to step it down, and then accordingly, I move that second reading of the bill.
Seventh order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, to make the Vice President and Deputy Governors act for the President and Governors respectively in official functions and for related matters standing in the name of Olajide Olatuguzu. All members record the bill was read the first time on July 2020, and I invite Honorable Judge to move that the bill be read the second time.
Mr. Speaker of the House, I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Respected colleagues, I think the observation brought by a leader is getting quite serious. Out of the good number of bills that have been scheduled today. We will schedule them again until they have a very cogent explanation to us as to why we should give them. And for that reason, I'm inviting all those who are not here to present their bill to a meeting. The commencement of debate on the general principle of bill provisions for the due management and administration and following matters standing in now Honorable Tijani Ismail Kayode. All members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, on Thursday, 2nd December 2021, and I invite Honorable Kayode to move that the bill be read second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Highly respected colleagues, my name is Tijani Kayode Ismail. I represent the good people of Ifelodun, Ofar, on impressive provision for its due management.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the
Speaker, honorable colleague, permit me to lead this debate on the general principle of the Act for Forensic Science University, Eride, Kwara State. Fourth piece of legislation that speak to establish the Forensic Science University of Nigeria, among other things. Enhance Nigerians' anti-fraud mechanism through the provision of a legal framework for the study, development, discipline for forensic science. Ensure equity, access to tertiary education in the country. Make comprehensive provision for its management and administration with restricted program, limited and focused departments to aid education, development, improvement of forensic science. The objective of this university shall be encouraged to encourage the advancement of learning, to hold out all persons without distinction of race, creed, sex, or political conviction the opportunity of acquiring higher liberal education as stipulated in Clause 2 of the bill. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, my respected colleagues, the emergence of forensic and investigative university cannot be overemphasized for the second time and refer to the relevant committee for further legislative action. I so move.
Distinguished respected colleagues, the question now is that the bill be read seconded. Those in favor say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerks is invited to read the long title of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, for due management and administration.
To Committee on Tertiary Education and Services. Respected colleagues, the ninth order of the day is motion on need to complete the rehabilitation of Paki Dam in Ikarala Hugom area of Kaduna State, standing in Honorable Hamis Ibrahim. Honorable Ibrahim is invited to move the motion.
The Right Honorable Speaker, my honorable respected colleagues, I rise to present a motion on the need to complete the rehabilitation of Paki Dam in Ikara local government area of Kaduna State. The House note that the primary purpose of construction of dams is for storage and retention of water in large quantities and subsequently released for irrigation, hydropower, recreation, water supply, and flood prevention. The House also notes that it is a policy of the federal government of Nigeria to diversify the economy to agriculture to increase food production and improve the food security of the country. Informed that the Paki Dam rehabilitation was awarded to Water Resources and Engineering Construction Agency RECA in 2003, that is 18 years now. The rehabilitation commenced and abandoned without any justifiable reason. Equally, on 10th May of 2014, the Upper Niger Development Authority paid a visit to the location for assessment of the contract, but nothing has been done to date. Worried that the non-completion of the rehabilitation project affected the dry season farming on which the affected community depended on,
This led to a significant shift from higher to lower quantity of production of agricultural products. Aware that, like rice, wheat, and vegetable, as well as increase in fish farming, and provide a range of economic, environmental, and social benefits to the community. The House resolved to urge the Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Upper Niger Development Authority to full compliance.
Seconder. Yes, sir.
By my honorable colleagues,
Colleagues, this is an infrastructure-related motion, so now put the question.
Thank you.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. The 10th order of the day is a motion on urgent need to standing now, Honorable James Adisa Olabi. Honorable is invited to make the motion.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Mr. Olabi, Honorable Olabi has approached me that he is stepping down this motion for further consultation, and accordingly I move that the motion be stepped down by the leave of the House. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Motion stepped down by the leave of the House. The 11th order of the day is a motion on need to address the prolonged malfunctioning of the total radar coverage of Nigeria, TRACON, standing now Honorable Ahmed Munir, or Munir is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My honorable colleagues, my names are Honorable Ahmed Munir, and I represent the productive address. The prolonged malfunction total radar coverage of Nigeria, TRACON. The House notes that the total radar coverage of Nigeria aids air traffic controllers in the radar scope of the aircraft and may resort to manual procedures which could be inaccurate, thereby increasing the likelihood of near misses or collisions of aircrafts. Also notes that TRACON became operational in 2010 with 5-year support service agreement and unlimited supply of spare parts, concerned that degenerating as they have not been undergoing needed maintenance. Concerned that since the termination of the contract in 2015, TRACON has been functioning without an upgrade and the equipment have been degenerating as they have not been undergoing needed maintenance. Also concerned that presently the radar system operates without a backup, and if it breaks down, air traffic controllers would resort to manual procedures which put pilots and passengers as well as other unsuspecting persons in grave danger. Informed that the Director of Electronics and Engineering Services lacked proper maintenance, resulting association has cautioned the country. The House resolved to urge the federal mandate the Committee on Aviation to ensure compliance. Mr. Speaker, I so move. Thank you.
Seconder. Oh my God.
I speak for the
Engineer, it's a third motion, but except if you want to contribute further, throw more light. You want to shed more light, or we'll put the question? Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Respected colleagues, the 12th order of the day is a motion on need to ascertain the progress of poverty alleviation and youth empowerment programs in the country, standing in the Honorable Dennis Idahosa. Honorable Dahusa is
Of the House, I so move, Mr. Speaker.
motion to connect the Idogo rail line in Ogun State to the Lagos-Kano standard gauge railway. Standing no Honorable Kolawole Lawal. Honorable Lawal is invited to move the motion.
My name is Kolawole Lawal Mubalorunduro. I represent the great people. Move this motion on the need to connect Idogo rail line in Ogun State to the Lagos-Kano standard gauge railway. The House knows the federal government is replacing the existing narrow gauge train operations in the connects the southwest and Nigeria in Idogo area from Ogun State to other railway modernization project will boost economic activities in the area and thus improve the economy of Ogun State and the country as a whole. That gauge railway.
This way.
Mr. Speaker, honorable moved by my friend, my brother, Honorable Kolawole Lawal. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, sir.
Against any, that's have it. Honorable Bashir, Mr. Mai is invited to move the motion.
Present the good people of Jamare for urgent need to unlock deny access to command that about 10 years ago, the state capital, leaving the people abruptly relocated to Azare, worried that the people of Jamare and Itas Gado local government areas inevitably have to find their way to either both elections. Concerned that lack of access to banking and other financial services is contrary to that unavailability of in circulation, which in turn has affected other businesses, have to undergo the accidents to open their branches in Jamare, enabling and conducive environment.
Seconder.
Not to the federal constituency. I so second.
Thank you very much. Those in favor of the motion say aye. 15th order of the day is a motion on need to, for the replacement of health workers who have migrated to other countries. Motion.
Honorable colleagues, my name remains it. Created to other countries in the wake up of health workers to other countries in search of greener pastures, especially since the coronavirus pandemic. Proper remuneration structure offered them despite being exposed to great risks. Concerned that the number of COVID-19 cases may become too overwhelming for the current number of medical personnel, thus exposing the country to even in the health sector through massive recruitment and replacement of effective stakeholders' engagement of the relevant ministries, departments, and agencies will serve as a catalyst to effecting the reforms. Results to 1, urge the Federal Ministry of Finance, Head of Service, Director General Budget, and the Ministry of Health to urgently grant financial cover as well as a waiver on individual costs of replacement of resigned and retrenched health workers. 2, mandate the Committee on Health Services and Institutions to engage in a period.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm from River State. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor. Badao of Shanonoro.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My highly respected colleague, my name is Honorable Yusuf Ahmed Badao, member representing Shannon Ogwe Federal Constituency. I'm from Kano State. I stand to second to present a motion on fortunate good mission at Ogwe and Badao, Shannon Ogwe Federal Constituency of Kano State. The House notes that the recent boat accident, which resulted the death of 42 passengers ferry across Wateridam in Ogoye local government area of Kano State. Also noted that some are mostly the waterways that November 30th, 2021, a local boat ferry, 50 passengers across Wateridam from Badao to Ogoye capsized, resulted in the unfortunate deaths of 42 passengers, while only 8 persons survived. Concerned that Wateridam is the only viable means of transportation for government to provide the deceased persons. 2, urge the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to travel safely along Wateridam. And finally, mandate the Committee on Emergency and Disaster Preparedness to ensure compliance. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I so move.
The only comrade.
I'm from Kano State. And my name is Comrade Amin Suleiman. I represent Fagge Federal Constituency. I rise to second this very, very important motion as moved by my brother Ahmed, and to re-emphasize even fortunate incident. I pray after seconding that the House will double approve this request and accelerate for the necessary support from all the relevant agencies.
Well, leader, you are hearing that?
I know. Motion that on management agency NEMA to pay a condolence visit to the families of the deceased and provide modern votes to enable the people to travel safely along the Wateridam. I would like to rather say my amendment. Yes, I'm coming, sir. 1, I would like to say my amendment should now take that NEMA should not only just pay, if you just pay condolence visit, I feel that is just not enough. I will suggest in my amendment, if the House allows, that NEMA after year after year. So NEMA should pay an fee along the Wateridam. I think a resolution of this nature coming up from the House like this, giving NEMA that mandate or that parliamentary instructions, I think will carry more weight. And I can also agree to marry Honorable Sada's observation that the inland waterways also should be part of this prayer. We should include it on this prayer, that NEMA and inland to avert future occurrence or reoccurrence of this incident. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, that's my amendment.
Seconder to the amendment? Yes, sir.
Mr. Speaker, my distinguished colleagues, my name is Honorable Musa Umar Galu, member representing Kozako Federal Constituency. I am from Kano State. I rise to second the amendment ably moved by the House leader. I so second.
Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Not this one. Okay. Hold this one first. Yes, sir. Akinjo.
From Ondo State. I actually come from the riverine belt of this country, and there are a lot of unreported cases of life in that place. My amendment goes thus, Mr. Speaker, that NEWA and other agencies saddled with the safety of our waterways should enforce minimum safety standard. Minimum safety standard for passengers on boats plying our waterways in the country. I so move that amendment.
Honorable Chudoka, second.
Minimum safety standards.
Okay, amendment? I thought you are comfortable with the amendment, yes. No, I'm looking for somebody to second. Yes, sir. He for she.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, honorable colleagues. I remain Honorable Vincent Ekene Ufumelu. I represent Oyi Ayamelon Federal Constituency. I rise to second the amendments, heavily moved by my colleague. I so second. Thank you.
Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Chidoka, your amendment.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Obinna Chidoka, member representing Idemili North, Idemili South Federal Constituency of Anambra State. So just a rider to the last amendment, but I need to add this. Now, due to the high number of deaths, 42 people dying in one boat mishap, it's become imperative that the NIWA, NEMA, operators of these boats, it is very important, sir, because it's like having a pilot flying 300 people and can't fly properly or does not know safety. People will be dying all the time. So we must be able to train those who also operate these boats so that they will know how to operate it and then stop risking people's lives and people will stop dying. Also, my condolences to those who have lost their lives as well.
Baba Adini.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable members. Honorable Rep. Ibrahim Ayokunle Isaka, for Iwekoro Federal Constituency, Ogun State. I rise, Mr. Speaker, to support this wonderful amendment because they say safety first, and that is what is lacking in this country. And the more and better that all hands are on deck, that will make it the first option in our operations, the better. In view of this, I hereby second the motion as ably moved.
Against any, that's have it. Dear colleagues, the 17th order of the day is a motion on need to establish Unity School in Surulere 2, Federal Constituency, standing now Honorable Shoyinka Abiola Olatunji. Honorable Olatunji is invited to move the motion.
So, Speaker, Honorable Shoyinka is also on the floor. I move that the motion be stepped down by the leave of the House. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Motion stepped down by the leave of the House. Respected colleagues, can we rise for 1 minute silence as prayed in the motion from Shannon? May the soul of the departed rest in perfect peace. On need to complete the Omoku Egbada Uju Awara Obosima Oere motion.
Mr. Speaker,
Step down by the leave of the House. As for colleagues, the 19th order of the day is a motion on need to construct Bauchi Gombe Road and 2 major bridges at Bara and Tashan Durumi in Bauchi State, standing in the name of Honorable Musa Mohammed Pali. Honorable Pali is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, right, Honorable Speaker. Musa Mohammed Pali is my name. Member representing Al-Kaleri Kirfi, I am from Bauchi State. I stand to move motion need to construct Bauchi Gombe Road and 2 major bridges at Bara and Tashan Durumi in Bauchi State. The House notes that Bauchi Gombe Road is a major and busy route that links Gombe Adamawa, Taraba, Borno, and Yobe State in the northeast. Also note that the Bara and Tashan Durumi areas are in need of bridge to connect to the town and community within the exit. I also worry that despite the importance of road, it remains in deplorable state and constructed bridge require urgent attention to reduce the hardship of the road users during rain season. Constructed at Bara and Teshandurumi due to the bad state of the road. Also disturbed that if the bridge are not constructed, bandits and kidnappers will take advantage of the bad state of the road. Resolved, urge Federal Ministry of Works and Housing to construct the Bauchi-Gombe Road and build the two major bridges at Bara and Teshandurumi as a matter of urgency before the next rainy season. Mandated the Committee of Works to ensure the construction of the road.
Second.
The Honorable Speaker, the importance of this motion raised by my Honorable colleague, I therefore second it as moved by him. Thank you.
Honorable Manu, first.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. Mansur Manu Soro, that is Uganda Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, because of the critical nature of the road to the marginalized people of the Northeast, I want to reinforce to consider projects under the tax credit component of the federal government. I so amend.
Okay. Seconder. Yes, sir.
My name is Honorable Musa Umar Galu, member representing Kosako Federal Constituency. I rise to second the amendment ably moved by Honorable Mansur Manu Soro. I so second.
Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Against?
Just Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, Abdulrazak Saad Namdas is my name. I represent Ganye Jada Tongoma Evelua. I'm from Adamawa State. Mr. Speaker, I just want to amend I'm just writing it, but I want to amend the second prayer. Instead of saying mandate committee on works, we should say mandate committees on appropriation and works to ensure funds. Move by
of Namdas. Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of the motion as amended say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. The Special Colleagues, the 20th order of the day is a motion on urgent need to clear the gridlock by trailers at the Obajana Junction, Kogi State, standing on the name of Honorable Kolade Akinjo. Honorable Akinjo is invited to make the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name once again is Kolade Akinjo Esquire, and I speak for the people of the Lajeso of the Federal Constituency. I'm an Elijah man from Ondo State. Plus, at Obajana Junction in Kogi State. The House notes that the security and the welfare of the people is the primary concern of government and beholds on government at all levels to enact legislation and implement policies for the promotion of the welfare of the citizenry. Observes that the Lokoja Obajana of Kene Road as well as the Obajana Kaba Road has become a nightmare for travelers plying the road who spend 5 to 7 hours in gridlock or total lockdown daily due to the heavy-duty trucks queuing to load cement from the Dangote cement factory. The giant cement company has converted the federal highway to its loading bay at the detriment of Nigerians plying the road. Cognizant that most of the trucks loading cement from the factory and lorries as well as vehicles plying the federal highway are usually overloaded, thus increasing the risk of accident as well as the severity of casualty during road accidents, contrary to the Federal Road Safety Act, making it imperative for the Federal Road Safety Corps to commence enforcement of restrictions on overloading of trucks, lorries, and vehicles in Nigeria. aware of the contributions by the Dangote Cement Factory to the socio-economic development of Kogi State, and indeed the Federal Republic of Nigeria, cannot be overemphasized. Yet the gains must not be lost to the brazen impunity of trucker government via an import waiver agreement with Dangote Cement Factory, concession Dobajana, Kaba Road to the company, who constructed the two-lane link between the north and the south remains unavailable. Worried that if the traffic in Obajana Junction in Kogi State is not immediately removed, it may increase the risk of accident, fire disaster, kidnapping, and other mishaps on the road, and stifle the economic development of the area as people traveling various parts of the country for Christmas and New Year celebration, despite the poor state of the road. Junction, by making an alternative arrangement and constructing a loading bay to completely clear the traffic lockdown at Obajana Junction. Dangote Cement Factory on a similar import duty waiver arrangement or on an infrastructure concession arrangement. Third, further urge the federal road safety corps and the law enforcement agencies to ensure that trucks impeding traffic at Obajana junctions are clear within the next 48 hours and not overloaded during this Yuletide and beyond. And of course, mandates the Committee on Federal Road Safety and Course to ensure.
Second, but you are not. Oh my God. Allow Ali to.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion as moved by my brother and colleague, Honorable Victor Akijo. Mr. Speaker, I so second. Thank you.
Do I put the question? Amendment. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Prayer 1, a way bridge, because it's always a loading bay. We can as well incorporate the way bridge so that it will minimize the pressure on the road. When we introduce a way bridge.
Zakari Trawe. I represent Kauru Federal Constituency of Kaduna State. I rise to second the motion on the amendment moved by my honorable colleague. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Respected colleagues, the 21st order of the day is consideration of a bill for an act to establish the Modibo Adamawa University, 2nd December 2021.
Right, Honorable Speaker, and I rise, honorable members, to move that a bill for an act to establish the Modibo Adamawa. Speaker, honorable members, I so move.
Whip.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, my name is Mohamed Tahir Monguno. I represent Marte Monguno.
In favor of the motion, say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. The 22nd order of the day is consideration of a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal College of Complementary and Alternative Medicine of Nigeria, Abuja, and to make comprehensive provisions for its due administration and for related matters. Only members will call that the bill was committed to Committee of the Whole on Wednesday, 1st December.
Again, right, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, my respected colleagues. I remain Alhassan Ado Dogwa, representing the people of Dogwa, Tudunwada Federal Constituency. A bill for an act to provide for establishment of Federal College of Complementary and Alternative Medicine of Nigeria, Abuja, and to make comprehensive provisions for its due administration and for related matters, HB 1649, a Senate bill standing in
Seconder, yes, sir.
The Federal Constituency of Borno State.
Respect colleagues, the 23rd order of the day is consideration of a bill for an act to establish the the Dietitians Council of Nigeria to regulate the profession of the dietetics and related matters. All members recall that the bill was committed to a committee of the whole on Thursday, 13 February 2020. The House leader will move for his consideration.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable members, I rise to move that a bill for an act to establish the dietitians related matters, HB 515, a Senate bill standing in my name in this honorable House. Mr. Speaker, I therefore move that this bill be considered at the committee of the whole. I so move.
Sorry, Deputy Leader is back.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and my dear colleagues. I am Comrade Peter Ohionzeje Akpatisin. I represent Akoko Edo people. I am from Edo State. Mr. Speaker, I support the motion, the motion as moved by the Leader of the House, Mr. Speaker. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against the nay. The ayes have it. The 24th order of the day is consideration of report of the Committee on Privatization and Commercialization on a bill for an act to repeal the Public Enterprises Privatization Act, Cap P38 Laws of Federation of Nigeria, 2004, and enact the Public Assets Reform Bill 2021 for improved efficiency and management of public assets in Nigeria and for related matters. Honorable members recall that the report was laid on Tuesday, 7 December 2021. Honorable Ibrahim Makama, Mr. will move for his consideration. In his absence, his deputy, Honorable Akinjo.
Honorable colleague, Kolade Akinjo is my name, and I speak for the people of Villages to the Fair Constituency, the Deputy Chair House Committee on Privatization, standing for my chairman. And I do move that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Privatization and Commercialization on a bill for an act to repeal the Public Enterprises Privatization and Commercialization Act, CAP P38 Laws of the Federation of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Public Assets Reform Bill 2021 for improved efficiency and management of public assets in Nigeria and other related matters.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Sorry, Seconder? Yes, sir. I was recognizing my brother from Benue State. No central affairs.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. My name is Benjamin Bem Nzondo. I speak for the people of Makudi Gumam. We are from Benue State, and the unofficial speaker of the Teaming Unemployed Youths of Nigeria. I rise this afternoon, Speaker, to second the motion that the bill be considered as ably moved by my deputy chair. I so second.
I didn't hear the other aspect of those
Benjamin,
constituencies.
why is Honorable Rebecca Pizan? You represent her?
Thank you. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader, move that the House do resolve into the committee of the whole to consider the bills.
Thank you. Honorable Benjamin, you need to see the Chief Whip of the House, please. Quickly, very quickly, for guidance. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I remain Alhassan Ado Dogwa, representing Dogwa Chudumada Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I am from Kano State, and by the leave of the House and God's will, the leader of the 9th House of Representatives, I therefore rise to move as directed by the Speaker in the chair that this House do resolve to the Committee of the Whole to consider report.
Deputy Leader.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I am Comrade Peter Ohionzeje Akpatisin. representing Akoko Edo Federal Constituency and from Edo State. I second the motion that the House do resolve to committee of whole to consider report. Mr. Speaker, I so second.
Those in favor of the motion, say aye. Against, say nay. The ayes have it. The House is hereby resolving to committee of the whole to consider reports. Respected colleagues, the first bill to consider is for an act to establish the Modibo Adama University Teaching Hospital, Yola, and for later matters. And I invite the leader of the House to give the Senate to the bill.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable members, I think for want of legislative time, Mr. Speaker and honorable members, Mr. Chairman, if you allow me take the synopsis of the two bills, what? Concurrent, okay, three, sorry. Take them concurrently, Mr. Speaker. I think I would love to do that, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable members. Bill number 21, as read at plenary, Mr. Speaker, is an act to provide for the establishment of Federal College of Complementary and Alternative Medicine in Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, the third bill also is an establishment bill. So I feel these are straightforward bills, Mr. Speaker, and taking into cognizance our bicameral coexistence as an institution. These are bills that have come from our sister chamber, the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I believe the needful has been done. They are here for concurrence. Mr. Speaker, under the spirit of our coexistent, harmonious working relationship with the Senate, I want to plead with honorable members, please look at the importance of these three, a very thorough and good job that we can consider as a sister chamber, like I've said, especially bill number 22, sir. It is a bill that has a lot of innovation and invention. The issue of complementary and alternative medicine. This is an innovative matter that the Senate has considered for us to make this establishment, this legal framework to establish that institute. And I feel the House of Representatives members should also follow suit. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, honorable members, it is therefore my pleasure to plead to honorable members to consider these reports and pass them with the speed of the light. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so urge. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader. I think the first one, maybe adding to what he has presented, is just about changing the name. It is an established institution already that we have. Federal Medical Center, Yola, and upgrade. Thank you. I know, we are already there, and I'm just seeking for the other side there. No, he knows what I'm talking. Thank you.
He still has some homework to do.
Homework to do. So the endorsement should go cut across. Clause 1. Clause 2. On clause 2?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, clause 2, if you look line, clause 2A, line 2, the word sex, I think the...
Which one are you reading?
That's Bill 22.
21, yes, sir.
I have not been given 21.
We're on 21.
Chamber, I have not been given 21, Mr. Speaker.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
I will hold on.
Clause 3. Clause 4. Thank you. Congratulations. Huh? Explanatory memoranda. Long title. Okay. The next bill to be considered, that he didn't mention, is Federal College of Comprehensive Alternative Medicine. Clause 1, 2. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to modernize language because language is dynamic. This is what on clause 2A, the word sex on line 2. I think it will be more appropriate and more modern if we say gender than rather than using the word sex. It's more elegant if you put the word gender in drafting.
So do you mean wherever the word sex appears on the should be replaced by gender? I'm sorry, I don't know. It's a good idea, but I think it's not an issue. But
because, Mr. Chairman, language is dynamic. We have moved away from that word sex because sex could mean different things. But yes, it could imply what? I believe you are older than I am.
Chairman, sir.
I think, Mr. Chairman, because this is a modern parliament, we are living in a contemporary world.
Yes.
The word sex should be changed to mean to gender.
Thank you. Babadini.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. As much as I would have agreed with him, there are so many bills who are passed into law here. And if he's able to explain to us how we are going to make this permanent, so that such that it will not, if changing it now will not alter those bills we have passed in the past, that changing sex to gender. Maybe it has to come in the form of motion, or another bill, or whatever. And how will not vitiate the stand of the House and that of the Senate. Thank you very much, sir.
Mr. Chairman. Okay, you want to speak?
Mr. Chairman, the point we are making here, we are talking about this bill, not any other law. We are talking about this bill. If we make any reference out of this, we are talking out of context, and we can be ruled out of order. Because what we are talking is about this bill, not any other law.
My only concern is, I think we traveled last time together with you, and we are given forms to fill on our way back from Britain. And what I saw now in the form, sex, no gender.
Mr. Chairman.
I think we
Mr. Chairman.
I don't know.
Mr. Chairman, that was a form. This is a law. That was a piece of paper. This is a legislation that affects
No, that was a legislation
man and woman.
No, that was a legislation that prescribes how people can operate in the aviation industry. It was also a legislation.
So an extra for that book.
Yes, however, sir, Oxford Dictionary meaning says either of the two main categories, male or female, into which humans and most of other living things are divided. It's not talking about the one that you are thinking about.
Don't corrupt us, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues. Let me come this way, sir. Honestly, when Honorable Sade came up with the issue, and I think that this was not the only time he brought about this issue. I was carried and I believed what he said. But on coming up on the second time now, and got a little conversations with people who went to school outside Nigeria like him. Because for those of us who schooled throughout in the country, my primary school within Nigeria, secondary school within Kano State, university within Kano State, I was in a way convinced that he could be right. But on consultation with some people who went to school outside Nigeria like him, Mr. Chairman, honorable members, I am convinced.
No, leader, the next person sitting to you, did you school outside?
Yes, sir. We are safer to maintain the word sex than to use gender. Reasons being, I agree with them that gender could also mean other things. It's beyond sex alone. The issue of the physically challenged, they said is gender. What? Disability is gender. The issue of homosexuality, the issue of lesbianism can also be incorporated in the term gender. So I think for the purpose of this legislation and for the fact that we are not yet there, I want to plead with Honorable Fulata, especially when the law is just here for concurrence. Let us not create major discrepancy in what they have submitted, at least for today. Please, let's sustain the word sex and not gender, please.
Well, as for me, I would say Adamawa are his in-laws. And I believe Sada will wish this, because of that connection, this law to be treated with dispatch, with the speed of light, so that we do not necessarily delay our transmission. Because of this, I will beg. Because when we do this now, it means then we have to go back for conference. And because of this, I will beg that Sada should, in the interest of his own in-laws, allow this bill to go the way it is written. Thank you.
Additional information, Mr. Chairman.
Again?
Yes, different perception. Yes, mathematically there is what we call universal generalization and universal quantifier. So he just, what he was saying.
That you should stand to make your...
That is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman. I say mathematically there is what we call universal generalization and universal quantifier. So there is difference between this gender. It's more, what you call it, if you want to integrate or differentiate, it's better for you to use gender than sex. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I hope you are not... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, clause 19, clause 20, clause 21, clause 22, clause 23, clause 24, clause 25, clause 26, clause 27, clause 28, clause 29, clause 30, clause 31, clause 32, clause 33, clause 34, clause 35, clause 36, the schedules. The gavel has gone. The schedules. Explanatory memoranda. Long title. The next is to establish the Dietitians and Council of Nigeria. Clause 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, plus 12, plus 14, plus 15, plus 16, plus 17, plus 18, Clause 19. Clause 20. 21. 21. 6. Clause 28. Clause 29. 30. 31. 32. 33. The schedules.
Long tie, explanatory memorandum, long title. Honorable Akinjo has the next one, which is the Committee on Privatization and Commercialization Act Cap P38 Law Supervision, Nigeria. You give synopsis or we can continue? Yes.
English colleague, my name is represent my chairman in giving direction to the report hearing. We want to first appreciate the House for indeed held different public hearing, Mr. Speaker or Mr. Chairman, and we also interfaced at different technical committee level with regards to repealing the Privatization and the Commercialization Act of 1999 and replacing it with a Public Assets Reform Bill of 2021. The whole agenda around this is to strengthen the efficiency of the privatization corridor. We believe that the PPP component of this legislation, we need to rejig it. And of course, the circular as sent by the XGF to the effect of giving a little new bite and energy to the working condition of the Bureau of Public Enterprise is also captured in this bill. So Mr. Chairman, and all of us as a committee is reflected in this bill. I request with all sense of responsibility and humility that my colleague do accept the recommendation there in the interest of driving the right economy of this country and helping our country to further do the right or the needful. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Chairman, thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it, sir. I
know you are seated close to the bourgeois and the capitalist, so I understand why you have to change your seat today. I understand very well, so I'm Clause 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 23, 24. They say carrying. 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, plus 32, plus 3, plus 34, plus 36, plus 39. The schedules. 40.
40 and 41, that's why you have citation. Except you are saying the numbering is wrong. 41 is where you have citation. Huh? Thank you. So maybe you have to do a better cleanup. The schedules.
That's on page 42. Page 42 on these river basins. We don't have Niger River Basin. It's Niger Delta River Basin Development Authority, Mr. Chairman. That's item number 4 on page 42 of part 1, schedule, second schedule. No, you see, that's why there is Niger Delta River Basin Development Authority. We don't have Niger River. Hold on, sir. The number 4, it should be Upper Niger. Upper Niger River Basin Development. Then number 21 should be Niger Delta River Basin Development Authority. We don't have Niger Delta.
It's because he's here that he's able to raise this observation as it affects his own agencies under his own control or supervision. And I urge the committee now again, will pass it to please kindly liaise with the secretariat so that a proper job will be done in terms of the schedule so that we do not have a return of our own good work because of small mistakes. Thank you. No, the amendment will be that they will do clean up. So let it be a general activity they will do on all the agencies. Thank you. Grateful. So the long title. Schedule as amended, yes. But it means then you have to come and do a general cleaning. All the acts you have to go through to ensure that whatever is written there is a reflection of what were passed, what are their extant laws. Thank you. Leader, kindly move that we will revert to plenary to report progress.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My respected colleagues, I rise to move that this honorable house do revert to plenary to report progress. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, honorable members, I so move.
Deputy Leader.
Mr. Chair and my colleagues, I second the motion ably moved by the Leader of the House that this committee do revert to plenary to
report progress. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole consider the report of a bill for an act to establish the Modibo Adama University Teaching Hospital and for related matters and approve clauses 1 to 4, long title and the explanatory memoranda of the report. Respected colleagues, the House in the Committee of the Whole consider the report on the bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal College of Complementary and Alternative Medicine of Nigeria, Abuja, and to make comprehensive provisions for its due administration and for related matters and approve clauses 1 to 36 and the schedules, the long title and explanatory memoranda of the report. Respected colleagues, the House in the Committee of the Whole considered the report on a bill for an act to establish the Dietitians Council of Nigeria and to regulate the profession of dietetics and for related matters, approve clauses 1 to 3 and schedules, the long title and the explanatory memoranda of the report. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole consider the report of the Committee on Privatization and Commercialization on a bill for an act to repeal the Public Enterprises Privatization and Commercialization Act P38 Laws Variation of Nigeria 2004 and enact the Public Asset Reform Bill 2021 for improved efficiency and management of public assets in Nigeria and for related matters, approve clauses 1 to 41 the schedules as amended, the long title, and the explanatory memoranda of the report. Leader, move for the adoption of the report.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I remain Honorable Ado Dogwa. Mr. Speaker, I represent the good people of Chudumwada, Dogwa Federal Constituency. Honorable members, I am from Kano State. I rise to move as directed by the Speaker in the chair that the report of the Committee of the Whole be adopted. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move.
Yes, sir. Deputy Leader.
And then they want to for record purposes.
Okay. Take it again.
For record purposes, Mr. Speaker and my dear colleagues, I am Comrade Peter Ohiozoje Akwatusin, MNI. I represent Akoko Edo Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I second the motion for the adoption of the reports of the Committee of the Whole. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader, move for the adjournment of the House to Tuesday next week, 11 a.m.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable members, I rise to move that this Honorable House do adjourn till Tuesday next week, the 14th day of December 2021 by 11 o'clock. Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable members, I so move.
Deputy Leader.
You forgot something.
Yes.
Please.
No.
Well, there's an announcement before this that all members are invited to participate in the maiden lecture series organized by NILS, National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, taking place or holding on Monday, 13th December 2021. Venue is African Hall, International Conference Center. Time is 9 a.m. All members are kindly requested to attend.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, once again. And finally for today, I second the motion for the adoption, for the adjournment of the House to next week Tuesday by 11 a.m. Mr. Speaker, I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. There's a have it. House is adjourned to Tuesday next week, 11 a.m.